goodness, two great matches. They won them both to make it into the league. But right now, that's old news because they are focused on making it to the championship match here in Huntington Beach. This first player, she is an Olympian, everybody. An absolutely fantastic athlete. Let me hear it for the two-time Olympian, Kelly CHENG. And her partner from the great state of Illinois, now called sunny SoCal, her home, everybody. First of all, she's also a great maker of coffee mugs. I'm just throwing that out there. You're fantastic. I appreciate you, Molly. Let me hear it for Molly Shaw. And their opponents repping the great state of Louisiana. You think of one?
Hello and welcome back to the sands of Huntington Beach. It's Surf City, USA, where the AVP has taken over. This weekend, it's a Heritage Series event here, and we are in the women's semifinal rounds. My name is Rich Lamborn. Pleased to be with you, and I'm extra excited to have my boy Casey Patterson alongside me. Casey, we just finished the men's semifinal action. I don't know it can get any better than that, but our ladies are about to try.
Yeah. I mean, if we had the Lindquist sisters out here, I'd be just as excited maybe. Two defenders just making it happen and going three, it would be similar. I'm excited for this match, though, because we got a new team that's been put together late, early in the season, but late in the partnership type scenario with Molly and Kelly, so I'm excited to see them. I've been watching their international success and them playing against some really good teams and doing well. So, and then, of course, we've got the juggernauts on the other side who have just been dominating since they were right out of college. So I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, Kelly and Molly, a little bit of a stressful Saturday yesterday trying to earn their way into the league. They were able to get it done, so that's a load off. But now, what do you get for your efforts? You get to play probably the hottest team in the world right now in Taryn and Kristen.
Although in my headspace would currently be just so grateful that I'm in the league, that I probably would be real loose and fun and being able to play real well right now.
Yeah, we saw that out of Billy and Taylor in our last match, right? Just kind of nothing to lose out there. Yeah, Molly and Kelly have had a lot of success early in this partnership as well, almost getting on a couple podiums and some elites, taking a couple fourth-place finishes. So they can absolutely ball. Molly doing a great job filling in for the injured Sarah Hughes. Oh, nice.
Wow.
Little net action there.
They landed and were jousting, both standing on the ground. That was incredible.
Yeah, look for a lot of defense in this one. We know about the exploits of Kristen NUSS, of course, but Molly Shaw, a tremendous defender as well, really active and mobile in the backcourt. Kristen's going to be all over that.
Wow.
Turn coming in and teeing off on two.
The freight train on two. That was incredible. I love when you're back there and you just know your partner is going to lay you up for an on two.
Yeah, that continues to be one of the many, many impressive things about the game of Kristen NUSS. It's not just the defensive reads, but the quality of contact when she gets to those balls. And a little detonation of her own, the fiery redhead.
Kelly's looking springy this season so far. She's getting up, and I mean, she's always been so athletic and jumps so well. There's something extra right now.
This is kind of the hometown beach, right? So that always provides a little extra magic. Good rundown from Shaw. Wow, ooh, high swing up the line from the right side, Taryn Brasher.
She got on that a lot sooner than I thought she was going to as well. That was a real good swing.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Kristen NUSS, but really the game of Taryn Brasher, there's so many little impressive elements. That little kind of upside down tomahawk dig on the pole.
Yeah.
Not an easy play to make as a blocker, and she makes it look kind of effortless.
Right. She has a really cool cadence as a blocker too, especially. I feel like the way that she handles herself and the way she moves is so smooth. I mean, especially for being 6'4", you don't usually see that, right? She moves like she's a lot shorter, very smooth and effortless. Great ball control. I think that's kind of added to her superpower as far as being a real force at the net.
Yeah, I would liken that, you know, kind of to some of the guys you see in the NBA, like a Luka Doncic or something, where he's covering so much ground, but it doesn't look like he's exerting himself excessively.
Yes, he's very
somehow
efficient.
they're always getting there, and it
Yeah.
just looks at this efficiency of movement. I think it's a good
true.
point by you. Kristen's going to run that down. And then the deep, almost middle jumbo.
Yeah.
That's how good the depth of that shot was, however. I love that, too, when Kristen is in motion like that, running down those line shots. I feel like they pick up the tempo of their transition set, right, to keep her in motion.
Which is smart, too, because then the blocker, I feel like they have that more of an urgency to bite on her approach, so she gets up early, and then she's got more vision.
I mean, you're one of the great setters of all time, so you tell me if this is a true statement or not. I always felt like setting a lower ball easier than setting a higher ball.
Much easier.
So it also, you know, kind of improves the accuracy of their transition offense, so to speak.
Yeah.
Kind of give her that tempo set in transition.
Yeah, I love that because there's two things that with that, right? It's easier to set a little bit of a lower ball, but then also when I have a location to go send it to is easier, especially if I'm getting off like a high dig. If I just go back straight up, there's a lot more room for air there.
Nice pickup. Kristen, just such patience. You could see her just holding her ground, waiting for the shot to come out, and then she just explodes to it. Talk a lot about the testing they did at LSU, and like her first step was faster than I forget who it was, Jamar Chase or somebody ridiculously fast.
Every human ever on the planet.
Usain Bolt, somebody. Nice little
there you go.
Chop from outside the body by Miley Shaw.
And that's got to be something to do with, like, not only is her first step so quick, but her ability to stay balanced and then transfer that, you know, force in that direction she needs to go has to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it makes me think of a conversation I had one time with your coach at the Rio Olympics, Tyler Hildebrand, our good friend. He was basically saying, you know, we watch somebody like a Kristen NUSS on defense and think that she has this otherworldly reaction time.
Right.
When in reality, what he was saying is that more or less, all of our reaction times are relatively similar.
Yes.
But where she shines is her ability to make all the movements beforehand, the reads before the ball comes, and kind of the patience to give herself a chance to sort of maximize that reaction time, so to speak, and so it looks all the faster.
I remember that, and him having an article that Karch sent him, and then he relayed to us during that time about the process ability of those athletes to be able to use that information.
That's kind of a good way to say it, right? She's got a faster processor in her head to take in more information and process it. And then the reaction time itself is kind of a byproduct of that.
Right.
That's going to go just a little bit long, the knuckle pokey jumbo attempt.
I mean, that's a great opportunity, good chance to side out there. But for me, that pokey, that's never been a thought in my mind. That's, I've never been good at that, though, and I've seen her do that so well during her career.
Yeah, it's becoming a bigger and bigger part of the game. I mean, you've got Kristen that uses it extremely well.
Right.
Another chance here for Cheng and Shaw. Really good pass on a free ball from Molly Shaw to get it up to the net.
Such a good set.
But yeah, you know, if you ever watch Risa Schoon play from Holland, for example, she's kind of the same model of players that Kristen does, a little bit smaller, unbelievable defender with tremendous touch, and she knuckle pokes people
everywhere.
To death.
Really?
Yeah, short, deep. You know, it's harder to read the depth of a knuckle pokey than it is kind of a hand shot sometimes. What a run-through set. Good pickup, Kelly Cheng with an opportunity.
Butter.
Hammering right up the middle.
Absolute juice on that handset. What a pickup by Kelly, too.
There's a little bit of that springy fire you were talking about with Kelly as well.
Molly with a great set that kept it in front of Kelly, too. That's a hard ball where you're up and down and jammed close to each other.
The on-to good left arm spear. Kelly keeping it alive. How about this? Oh, my goodness. Unfortunately, unable to suspend the laws of physics momentarily there, Molly and Kelly. You love the effort, though. I'm a big believer that effort plays like that, even though they don't lead to a point on that particular play, lead to good things down the road, right?
Same. I am a huge believer in that as well.
Wow. Sails long.
It's a nasty
Relief.
float.
I think Kelly might have been calling that good.
Yeah.
Happy that Molly did not listen on that particular instance. That is so pretty. Just taking a look, saw Kelly start to back off, and that new deep was open in probably either direction with that level of precision. So it's 12-9 here as we hit the technical timeout in set number 1 in favor of Brasher and NUSS. Kind of like we saw out of them all day yesterday. Even though their opponent's playing very well, they're just surgical in their execution.
Steady and surgical. Never too high or too low, just stay real cruising. They do a good job of also taking advantage of those plays when they get a chance and putting themselves in a really good position as far as like the dig quality off the block or off the swing, right? And then the set quality. So it's not just them executing, it's them executing at a really high level where everything's becoming better out of a situation that they're put in. Because I could go get a lot of digs, but I'm not going to get at the quality that maybe Chris is getting, where I'm giving it an extra 3 feet towards the net. That's where they're just all world.
Yeah, the only possible leak in their game right now is sometimes they miss a few too many serves. You know, their defense is so good, sort of balancing that threshold of keeping it in and making it too easy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I like that they're trying to apply service pressure, but they're so solid block and defense-wise that every missed serve feels like a lost opportunity.
Yeah, well, we could have got a block and scoop or a transition, right?
Yeah. Kristen all over that, and the court awareness to just get the left foot to the sideline and then watch it fall wide. $13-9. That was a really good flat serve and a good redirect at the net.
Perfect redirect.
Clearly, Taryn, watching the previous men's semifinal where T. Krabs redirected a ball.
Glad they picked up on those notes from coaches.
So, quick timeout after the technical for Kelly and Molly as they lose another couple in succession.
Yeah, they just – I feel like they're still playing it at such a good level that they just need to get a couple points in a row, maybe a side out, maybe 1 or 2 reels to just open up the opportunity and, like, belief that, okay, we've got something to work with, right? Because right now you're constantly just kind of searching for that. And you only need a couple to really put some pressure on the opposing team. And that's where I feel like maybe Kelly – her serve's nasty. I think that's going to be something that might start the trend of some real points and some momentum.
Yeah, it is interesting. You know, we talk about sort of the mentality through various stages of a set and of a match, right? When you find yourself in this kind of a hole, you have to wrap your head around taking a little bit more risk,
right?
You know, in a calculated way, of course, from the service line, but you're down 5, 14-9 here. You're sort of running out of time in this set.
Right.
So if I'm Kelly, I have to ramp up the aggression a little bit from the end line, like you said. And, you know, maybe Molly picks it up by easing off of her serve a little bit. Let's kind of lean into our weapons.
Right. And then again, and on top of that, maybe it even just is everyone knows this, but it's momentum into that second set, even if you don't close out the first.
Yeah, so that was a good serve.
Great
Kelly.
serve.
Handled well, though, by Taryn and Kristen, and kind of the smooth line shot double crosses the defense of Cheng and Shaw. Yeah, I love that.
Good call.
And really good pass from Molly Shaw, too, to just give Kelly Cheng every conceivable option. Again, just kind of able to see that pull enough to know that the deep loopy line shot is what was needed instead of just kind of the baby line. That
I kind of wish you would just say don't pull on me. I'm not going to lie. Like, I almost said it out loud for her. Good pass.
Oh, Kristen all over that. And that one's going to sail just long.
They're human. That's what you got to yell it out. They can bleed their own blood, finally.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Yeah, I do love that. You know, they don't end up getting that point, but again, just kind of the, I don't know, patient contact, so to speak. I always thought your partner, the great Jake Gibb, was so good at on pulling. You know, a lot of blockers try and see that ball coming to him and launch it into the air.
Yeah.
He would just kind of let it rebound towards you.
Yeah, you like nestle, like push it towards me.
Yeah, sometimes we think that, you know, higher contacts are better, and that's not always the case, right? Just those calm, low contacts where I'm just kind of bouncing it to my partner are oftentimes the better way to go.
Right.
And the easier to pull off, I think.
Yeah, and also, even with that set, it's an easier ball to set. Oh, wow. Great touch.
Yeah, how about that? Good chase down from Shaw. Oh, baby cut. Kristen's all over him, then look out. Yeah.
When you're like, oh, I just hit the perfect shot. No, I didn't. She's on it.
Yeah, it was a wonderful chase down from Shaw. A really good short middle shot, but Kristen Nuss just too good defensively. The top of the tape. Oh, a little standing. Fake. Kristen all over it again. Good dig from Shaw.
Oh, Gator. This is fun. We'll take it.
Great rally, yeah. Just showing off some tremendous ball control from both blockers there. Taryn Brasher going with the spike dig control, and then Kelly with the upside-down gator.
Yeah, I mean, that was the perfect gator jaw.
What is that? That's like some kind of video game power.
Yeah, the sphere. Oh, my gosh. If I'm playing against her, I find a way to compliment her but get myself involved. I said, oh, you've been watching my YouTube videos. You know, like somehow I would compliment but still take credit, you know.
That was a go-to of yours that I liked a lot. Oh, you got my DVD.
Yeah, yeah.
And that goes off the block and wide. So Cheng and Shaw still alive, set number 1.
Back when kids knew what DVDs were.
Yeah. You subscribed to my YouTube channel or whatever the updated version of that is.
There it is.
Oh.
The perfect pancake spatula miss hit.
Instinctively, you feel like that shouldn't be legal, but there's no way that that's a lift or anything.
Yeah, right. I know. It
just a full swing. Just kind of missed the contact of the palm a little bit.
Just felt wrong.
And it's now 6 set points for Brasher and Nuss. Right up, perfect again.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, the level of difficulty on that pass from Molly Shaw. I mean, high, deep, kind of backpedaling.
Yeah.
And she puts it up on a platter for Kelly Cheng.
And that's a result of, as a team, knowing that that is a huge offensive threat for us, especially when we're siding out. Like, we have to own that and really just like force it sometimes, and they've gotten through that probably, and now it's just effortless.
Yeah, another cut shot falls with relative ease for Nuss, and that'll close out set number 1 for Brasher and Nuss. 21-15, just clinical performance from TKN.
Yeah, so hard to play defense against Kristen gets that look. She's behind the ball. The ball is like, I would say that was probably like a 5-6 feet off, but she's still behind it. If I'm Molly, I'm like, she has, you know, the quick angle. She's got the flat line. Kelly feels like she either has to delay extra or do something special, and then all Kristen has to do is just hit the cutty. It's so hard on defense to get into a rhythm and feel like you can affect her on offense.
Oh,
right away we dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Wow, hers is taped on.
There it is.
Wow.
That reminds me of an expression our boy Zuffanetti taught me, that fast pooping dogs don't poop long. The two combatants that made it to the net first just dumped their ball
dropped the ball right
immediately. Okay, now let's test the arms. Okay.
Yeah, okay, not bad.
I like it.
Nobody's cleared the stadium yet yesterday.
Yeah, a good way to throw your arm out, by the way, is to try and throw those mini balls.
The mini ball. Oh, you will.
Yeah, I think our boy Mark is one of the best at sort of controlling those games.
Yeah, so good at it.
He's such a good director.
Yeah. He's always trying to come up with something new, too. Somehow he's just completely forgot about my handset one that, you know, you throw up a really high spinny ball and see who in the crowd could actually set it without the ref calling it. I'm like, let's get them a dose of reality. And, like, it's not so easy, you know?
Yeah. All your game ideas are designed to just stick it to the crowd for
like,
heckling.
Quit booing us. It's not hard. It's not that easy. Yeah.
I think that's how the half-court shot originated in basketball. Right? Oh, you think you can do it?
Yeah. Only inviting, like, the volunteer high school girls to come hit on an extra high men's net or something.
All right, so we get ready to start the action back up here in women's semifinal number 1, set number 2. Brasher and Nuss taking the first 21-15.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what type of tactics anyone can kind of create to rattle Brasher and Nuss, because as of, you know, the last 2 days, nothing has fazed them at all.
Yeah, it's very difficult to know what to do in calm conditions. You know, I talked about that match that they had with Brazil in Playa del Carmen down in Mexico, where the wind really affected the game a lot, and pole defense was huge for the Brazilians in that one. But in this kind of, I don't know, what do we think this is? Just 3 or 4 miles an hour.
This is the perfect conditions.
Yeah, very little. So Kristen's going to always be in kind of a good position from which to hit, and she's so deadly. If you pull on her, you know, we've already seen her go deep, loopy line shots and angle shots a few times. That's a nice aggressive swing from Shaw.
A cheer of relief / excitement at the same time by that.
But, I mean, you like to point out how pivotal that side-out piece is, right? We just got to kind of focus on our ability to side out. Obviously, the option game big for Molly and Kelly. And so seeing if they can kind of push that a little bit.
Right.
And defensively, I think they're doing the right thing. They're kind of trying to throw different looks at Taryn and Kristen. You know, Kelly went for the drop into the cut, kind of no jump there.
It's just so hard. They're so great at, even if they do pass, let's say not perfect, putting themselves back in a position where they are always in control and have the vision.
Yeah, that is another good set from Shaw, and a great swing, hard cross court from Kelly Cheng.
Yeah, Kelly has those insane angles that she can kind of chop and whittle down from a high point too, which makes her so deadly with her range. Like that serve.
There.
Again, they just fix the problem, right? They're just general contractors out there just fixing problems.
Yeah, I mean, the degree of difficulty on that shot, falling away from the net, going short cutty.
Yeah, with the limited time on the hand, and you're taking some off.
Yeah, because that set was a little deep of where she wanted it. There's a good pass and an easy tap over the top. So right now, things going very well, both sides of the net.
It's crazy how much different it feels just when you're just siding out consistently. You haven't even scored a real point. You feel like so much more doable.
Oh. How about the chase down? Ooh, can't keep it alive, however. Love the foot speed from Kristen NUSS, though, especially when she's already sort of disappointed that she hit that shot right to Molly, and then Molly just knocks it over on one. She puts on the afterburners and tries to chase it down. Kelly and Molly with a good response here, coming out with a lead after the first side change.
Efficient side out, being able to take a chance on maybe a tough serve down the line from Kelly and create a opportunity to get a scoop in transition.
Yeah, it's so impressive, the precision with which she operates.
Yeah.
Right, because she went baby cutty fall away from that exact position just two swings ago.
Right. And you can tell Molly was kind of leaning into that little shorty.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sort of natural to kind of recognize the same situation and react to what you saw last time.
Right.
Yeah, that's good knowledge of your opponent from Taryn and Kristen.
Yeah.
Right? That little short knuckle is such a go-to for Kelly Cheng. Kristen was all over it.
Well, the ability to just take advantage of time, too, with that on-2 option off most of their digs so far, too. Of course, she's on it.
Oh. Scrambling. Again, the spike dig from Taryn. Got a good rally ensuing here.
Oh, come on.
That is going to fall. Kelly Cheng with a little improv. Spike it over to the deep corner.
I'll spike your spike.
That was a leg and a lung burner.
Right.
There,
I'm exhausted.
That was a hard-earned side out.
Yeah.
Just extending, I mean, that is the tendency, right, is to look at the refs when that happens, because technically that ball will end up over the net if Taryn doesn't touch it, but she touches it cleanly on her side. Just a sliver of the ball has to be on her side for that to be a clean play, and it was.
Right, it's actually like a really well-trained look to the ref, just in case. Good set.
Yeah, that was a really good kind of recycle, right?
Yeah.
Kelly, again, knowing she didn't have much push on that, so she just uses the block to get it back, and then she goes knuckle jumbo.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that Molly also kept it like a tempo, like a 2-ball, which kept, Taryn in front of Kelly, so she didn't have to look up too high, right? It's just, I can still see her, I can make my decision and fix it.
Just a little baby line over the top, a la Janis Schmeddens.
Kind of reminds me of Jimmy Nichols a little in her offense with Kristen. Like, I felt like he would just put me on ice skates half the time when I was playing in qualifiers and playing against him. He could chop and poke and use a million different speeds.
A good nod to the old school of beach volleyball there. Great Jimmy Nichols, one of the better defenders of all time. That one right in Molly's lap. Second opportunity here. Yeah, Kristen
she
giving
was
it
saving
back.
it.
Yeah.
You could tell. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, I got one. I'm saving it.
And our second White Goodman reference from Dodgeball. Nobody goes over on one on me. So 8-6 for Brasher and NUSS as we switch ends. They put up a 5-2 from that bad side. Now we say bad side, it's just the worst of the two. Either side is really bad. This one's got to go. I love the communication from Kelly and Molly there. And that one falls. Little Steino knuckle pokey over the top.
Bringing it back to the line.
Yeah, Kelly offensively, real similar to Chase, right? They both love that cross body.
Yeah. Yeah, and then still kind of have that like nasty inside out, like the wrist away chop too if they want it. Yeah, but that tendency of a great cross body.
Really good pass from Brasher. Oh yeah.
Wow, if there's a replay on Kristen's footwork there on that handset, I would love to talk about that. That was incredible. She took probably 6 or 7 like karaoke style steps.
Yeah.
Backpedaling while setting versus being stopped committed and falling over.
It was like she was getting ready to go into the breakdancing circle, you know, where you do the little weave with the feet.
Yeah. I just moonwalked out of it and pointed to her to go right back in.
Cross your arms across your chest.
Little challenge.
That one's going to sail long.
I like that service pressure they've been giving her, that like deep to the right side corner. When they did score, that was the serve that was kind of generating some opportunities.
Yeah, she's almost too speedy to do the short because she can throw it up to her partner so easily. So you want to almost stretch her out a little bit, make her run a little longer. Ooh, that one misses wide.
Look at that. That is so close.
Yeah, very close. It was just kind of on the downside of a previous footprint or ball mark or something.
That's crazy. The ref better get rid of that because I'm going to come over and argue.
Ooh, wow.
Perfect. That's the old indoor setter, the back row setter, right? You have hands up and you just drop your hands and it goes over.
Yeah, our boy Moni Nikolov over at Long Beach right now, player of the year, freshman of the year.
Jeez, Long Beach, guys.
Immigrant of the year. So he had everything of the year.
Everything of the year.
We're going to take our
T-Crabs,
as T-Crab says, hey, welcome to the club.
Welcome to the Player of the Year club. Yeah, it's always nice to be able to throw that out to your fellow 49ers. So Taryn and Kristen up 12-9 again here as we take the technical timeout in set number 2. Kind of a similar performance here in set number 2 as we saw in set number 1, right? Kelly and Molly playing some good volleyball, but there's just no leaks really in the game of Taryn and Kristen.
Yeah, Kelly and Molly are siding out real well. You know, it feels so much closer, even maybe possibly than the first one, but somehow still they just maintain that 3-4 point lead. It's just constantly.
Well, I think they're the perfect example of what you talk about a lot is like their side-out game is so dialed that they get 1 or 2 on defense here and there, and then all of a sudden you look up and it's like, 12-9.
Oh, wait, we're down 5, Yeah,
you know, I mean, here's to that point, Taryn with 2 blocks and 6 control blocks with the little speedster running around behind her. I mean, that's going to turn into a lot of scoring opportunities. Kristen, 12 kills, 15 digs in a set and a half.
She got as many digs as they had points in the first set. Is the controlled block stat, was that created by Theo?
Yeah, it's probably.
You always talked about that.
I need credit somewhere, even if I don't get direct stuff.
Right.
No, but I mean, those are good, especially when you control them as well as Taryn does, right?
She does such a good job.
Yeah, and more to your point here, both Taryn and Kristen hitting 500, so their side-out game is dialed, and then you add those defensive stats on top of it, and that is why you have the decisive win in set 1 and the big lead here in set 2. Dig number 16.
Oh, no top. Did that not touch the block?
I don't think so.
Sounded like it did. There we go.
Yeah, I think we get a little extra kind of pop in our ears from the net mic.
With the recoil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really nice swing there from Kelly Cheng to stop the point scoring run by Brasher and NUSS. 10-13.
Yeah, I mean, you serve like a perfect serve. You're like, perfect. We got him out of the system. And she just gets to, you know, walk into the perfect pokey.
Yeah, Kristen does a really nice job. I mean, rarely, if it's a sort of a quote-unquote missed pass, less than perfect pass, rarely is it behind her, though. She kind of stays over the top of the ball so well. And that one's going to go right to her partner again, and the lefty knuckle won't fall just yet. How about the
There
little
we
back
go.
knuckle from Kelly Cheng?
Let's just have fun. Let's just score with fun. Love the smiles.
Yeah, they do have a really good demeanor between the two of them. Player of the Year, Taylor Crabb, walking by the booth.
Just big time, and didn't even say hi. Unreal.
Riley McKibben in the entertainment industry, not realizing that he's a better door than a window.
Especially with those triceps. Jeez.
So again, another smooth cut shot for a kill. Kristen Nuss. And good hang and swat. Taryn Brasher.
It's frustrating for Molly. I feel like she's doing such a good job of trying a different type of offense, a different set, different location, just trying to find some sort of a rhythm. But
That's the pressure that they apply, though, right? As everything gets touched, you feel like so everything feels like it has to be so perfect. I mean,
even when it's a kill, it's like that. Oh, we've got to have like multiple chances to put it away because they're all over it.
Like a double chest-high knife hand dig from Kristen to keep the rally alive. And, you know, Kelly needs a wide open net.
Yeah, with the nobody
bounce.
up.
Yeah.
And then, almost still touch that one. Yeah.
16-12 as we take the side change. It's just the freight train, as you said, that keeps on coming. Taryn Brasher and Kristen Nuss.
Are they wearing? Are there's their LA launch hats? Is that what? Or what hat is that?
No, that's Louisiana. They're kind of sponsored by the whole state.
That must
LSU
be nice.
Girls, yeah.
That might be the only way you just make you know, a real good living as a beach volleyball player.
Yeah.
Sponsors are a big deal, and I feel like that's harder and harder these days.
I think all the state tax just goes right to them.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So
I love
it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Their agent did well on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, good pass. Oh, Kristen, great read. And again, I mean, her ability to create that depth with no approach, right?
No
it's
approach.
Just like, it's how fascinated I am by, you know, like Steph Curry shooting the ball with ease from like half court.
Right.
That's kind of what it is, watching her do that jumbo from no approach.
She's kind of what we like to call the puppet master, right? She puts you on strings and makes you dance.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
Again, I mean, that's, if we're being hyper nitpicky, the only weak spot in their game is they miss a few serves here and there that
which
feel like they could do without.
Right. If I'm coach, I'm that's the one thing I'm like okay with kind of being like, all right. What a nice free ice cream scoop.
Yeah. And, just missing the sideline, so it'll be 7 match points here for Brasher and Nuss. But
jeez.
It's been a fun one, but a frustrating one if you're Kelly Molly, because you're not doing anything wrong necessarily. You're just running into almost perfect volleyball on the side of Brasher and Nuss.
Like there, almost still has it with the foot. I love when you're just in that zone and like somehow they're always in it, but I was only in it a few, like sometimes, where you're making all the right moves. You're super patient and trusting each other and creating the right plays for each other.
Yeah, that gets obnoxious when, you know, the rest of us have to call it some. Oh, there we go. There's a little fun.
We got
our
highlight. Weird. That's the only clip that worked for us. It's the only one I have. It's perfect. We recorded, but that's the only one I got.
Did Kelly say great set as she was spiking that?
Act a little tighter, please.
Great timing, great read from Kelly Cheng on that one. That was a little fun.
Take our small wins on before we go to the side switch.
But yeah, we have to be in the zone to play like this. Taryn and Kristen just
get to play.
That's just what they call normal volleyball.
Yeah.
Another good touch. This one's got to go. Okay, so
wow.
A little bit of late fire here, not going away easily. They will not go quietly into that good night, Casey Patterson. Another chance here. And that'll fall as well.
Let's
so
go.
Good little run from Kelly
I believe,
and Molly.
partner. Let's go. Start. Get the hands going. A little magic.
You start to tell yourself, hey, we only need 3.
Yeah.
Another line pickup. Second chance for Kristen. And that one will fall.
Oh my gosh. Another fadeaway jumper for the win.
That's just that ongoing chess game, right? She went line shot, line shot, line shot, and you know, Molly stayed with it to her credit. You can't believe that a 4th one's coming.
There's no way another one will be line.
Well, yeah, 21-17 the final score in that second set, and just an unbelievably good performance again. Taryn Brasher and Kristen Nuss doing what they do out there, just breaking hearts, taking names. So that'll end women's semifinal number 1. Taryn and Kristen will be in our women's final a little bit later, vying for the title here in Huntington Beach. We are going to see the second women's semifinal coming up here shortly between Brandy and Mel Canada and Therese Cannon and Megan Kraft, who also earned their way into the league yesterday with a stressful Saturday.
Yeah, stressful Saturday. This is going to be a good one.
That'll be fun. For now, we will take a quick breather of about 10 or 15 minutes for myself, Rich Lamore, Casey Patterson. Bid you farewell briefly and be back with you soon.
And they're free. I'm just kidding. They're free from